Welcome to the Go Through Podcast. I'm your host, Steppa.
I'm your host, Deacon Jones.
And we have a guest on the show today.
The cameraman.
The man behind the scenes.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know?
Now
looking over there, sitting there looking like a tall glass of milk. We have... we have the cameraman.
Yeah.
Kyle. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. Life's good.
All right. He's
Life's
the one
good,
that, take care of our visuals and sounds
man.
and stuff.
Good
like
guy.
that. Yeah,
Good guy.
Great. But yeah, so today we talking about Deacon Jones and Kyle both have Kyle has two brothers.
Two siblings with special needs,
With
autism
special needs.
spectrum disorder.
Okay. And Deacon Jones have
Son that's deaf.
deaf.
Yeah, Dushawn Jr.
Okay, Dushawn Jr.
Yeah, we got some family members with some conditions. So
Okay,
it's-
absolutely. So this episode we just gonna talk about being in same household or raising your son with those, because you had to kind of adapt to it. Like when you got custody of your son, like how did it how did you start handling that? Like for him being deaf, what steps do you have to take to kind of be able to communicate with him?
Well, at first, I automatic start like talking to him like regular.
Oh, like regular.
Like I ain't, you know what I mean? Because I knew, but I ain't get it like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, but he's so cool with it that you wouldn't even know my son deaf unless you hear him talk, because he got a little speech problem.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just know, or if I told you. But other than that, because he be shocking me sometimes. I be talking to his brother, because he's a twin. I be talking to his brother, go get me some. He'll run up there and get it. His brother be like, Dad, he can hear. I be like, yeah, he can hear. But he can hear a little bit, he always tell me.
Oh, like a little bit.
Like we watching a movie or something, he be like, I can hear it, or music. Like, he tell me he
a little
can.
bit.
Yeah,
There's like a percentage that people lose apparently. Like there's still, that's what I've heard.
yeah, like he can hear a little bit. Hopefully he could grow out of it and begin to hear all the way through. That's what I'm.
Well, they have those like cochlear implants. In fact,
yeah,
when
he
I was
got the implants.
When I was in pre-K, actually, my first friend, like my best friend at the time, was he had like those big hearing aid things.
Yeah.
And it was funny. We did a sleepover, and then his parents like take the things out, right? Because it's bedtime, and he's like a little kid, so they're gonna make sure those things are like safe. Yeah. And he's trying to like talk to me and have conversations, like because it's like we're just being dudes, He wouldn't hear a damn thing. So I'd have to repeat everything I said until I was like yelling, and then his father comes in, stop talking, like.
Oh,
because he just couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
So you said your son, the Dushawn, so he never God, you crazy. So the Dushawn, he never like feel as though it's something wrong with him because he can't hear. Do he like feel like left out or like?
Good that you said that. Sometimes I remember I used to watch him a lot, and I used to notice I used to feel him. He used to feel some type of way when me and his brother talking, and I'd be looking at him and it'd be like, sometimes he'd be like in the beginning, when I first got custody of him, and we was around each other, and I'm talking to cause Kai was like our mediator, because I didn't know nothing.
Oh, okay.
Far
So
as
his
how to
brother was your mediator.
Yeah, he the
Okay.
one. What he said, Kai. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking him what he say, and Kai, let me know, translate it. Doing a sign language.
His brother knew the sign language.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so he was, letting me know. But then when me and his brother just talking, me and Kai, he used to be looking like, I used to see him feeling like, he used to get upset sometime at us, like, y'all know I can't, why y'all keep, I mean? That's how I felt. I ain't saying that, that's what he was saying. But that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then even sometimes I had to get used to me, we going out, and I found myself, because I didn't want people to like be acting weird, and I used to just tell them off the rip.
Oh, okay.
Like when you come around and people, I'm like, yeah, he deaf, so, because he stare.
Oh, okay.
Because he reads your lips.
Oh, gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So you'll come, like if he was here, he'd be looking right in. He'd be looking at you, and your brain, of course, you won't say nothing 'cause that's a kid. But I know, cause I'd be like, cause I had to catch my side. I'd be like, yo, why you staring?
Oh, okay.
But then
That's
I
the
had
way-
to,
yeah.
I had to realize because that's how he communicates.
That's his adaptation, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So when he's staring and he getting you, he comprehending, he understanding what you saying by him staring at you. So I had got into a habit of every time, people came around and I know they about to be trying to conversate, because a lot of times people will be speaking to him, how you doing? And I have to tell him, he deaf. Just because I don't want them to ever say nothing crazy or why are you looking at me? I don't feel all like
That's a
that.
good
So
way to-
that's
tell 'em
why
that was your way
I
of
just tell them
diffusing
off,
that,
off the rip, like, you know what I mean? So they can understand, But then now I got to the point because a lot of times it's people to say, yo, I ain't know you. I ain't know that.
Or they didn't
Because
know
he
that about-
acts so regular until if you hear him try to talk, because he still be trying to talk. He say little words, but it don't come out clear like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it be a lot of times you wouldn't even know. Because he's smooth like that. I'd be like, oh. But he'd be so smooth with it.
You don't even know.
You wouldn't even know unless you really, 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 really paying attention. Or like I said, if somebody told you.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't even know. Because he'd be,
Wow.
yeah.
And how old he is now? How old
They
he is?
11.
They 11?
They 11, yeah. And I used to always think about, like, do he feel some type of way?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They used to kind of bother me because I didn't know what to, like, how to handle it.
Yeah.
As far as one son, he can hear is regular. Then I got another son that's deaf. So I was like, I ain't really know how to, in the beginning, I ain't know how to, like, handle it. As far as, like, the communicating part, I ain't really know how to.
How to do it. How to really handle
how
that
to do it.
situation.
So now it's like, he knows exactly what I'm saying now. I don't. Yeah, he just.
Oh, so you actually know sign language?
A little bit, but
little bit?
he
can
he read
your
my
lips?
lips. Like,
Do you have to talk slow so he can
Nah,
say it?
regular
regular
degular.
like you talking now?
Yeah, like
pick
right
it up.
now.
Oh,
I think that's amazing. See, sometimes
he amazing
ever
with it.
since I learned about that, I've tried to somehow like try to do it.
yeah,
Sometimes I kind of can, but it's literally like a whole
And you-
new language.
yeah.
yeah.
Like whole new language.
Like when he get around his people, I mean, we was at the what's that in Windsor? I think the little fun house,
Oh, you talking about
not Coco Key.
Nah, you talking about nomads.
Yeah, nomads. We was there, and some people, some kids from the school was there that he knew. He's amped up. Yo, they communicate. They like this on a little ride. It's a little ride. They like.
Oh, they going. Oh,
Like how we kicking it. I'm like, wow, like he just left
Oh,
us and
wow.
everything.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but they was going at it. Like I'm like, oh, he wild. This little girl, this little girl. He ain't want to
you got a
leave
little
her. Yeah,
girlfriend?
little girl. He little
She
girl.
deaf too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But they
what's-
was like, you know what I mean, going like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
So they
going
could've
at
been
it.
talking nasty.
All
so
types of,
know
yeah,
what
you don't
was
know
going
what, yeah. I'm like this. I'm down, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Don't know what he talking about. You know what I
Good
mean?
for him though.
That's
That's,
good, though.
that's
But
probably
good.
comforting too,
Yeah.
right? Because then he
Yeah.
has somebody who doesn't even have to question it, or he doesn't have to question if they
Yeah.
understand it enough.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I do like the fact that, you know, he pick up.
Yeah.
Like I be telling Kai, go get me a grape soda out the refrigerator. Here, go get it.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
Kai be like that. How he know what you said?
You ready to read them
But
lips?
he read 'em
And he
good.
And he probably type like he want to not make that flag. That's a handicap.
Yeah,
He wanna prove
and
to
I
you
don't-
like, oh, I could do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what you
yeah.
say,
He do
you
that
know
all
what
the
I
time.
mean?
Cause
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he do that, he be like, I heard. He be like, or if I be like, what last night? I told him to get last night. I told him to get It was something I told him to get. It was something I told him to get. Either out the pepper out the cabinet. I'm in the living room. I'm like, get the pepper. He think come back with the pepper.
Wow.
Like, yeah, like, so he know. Like,
Yeah.
he's smart. Like, and you know he could do good.
What?
That's why I got, I don't know how to play the piano.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What? Wait, explain that. I was about to say that he's probably going to be very successful in something because he already
know
has
how
that,
to-
motivation to be like, okay, I'm going to prove that I'm capable like this. And
Yeah.
He
apparently
got a
he's smart.
sound. Like, he know.
Really?
He be like, he sound like he know how to play. Like, I mean, he,
Oh, visual.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
he be really fingers moving everything.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So
Who was
he
that?
really-
Beethoven that was like that?
Beethoven.
I don't know. I think it was just wasn't able
Or
to
Mozart.
hear.
No, maybe it was
One of them was not able to hear.
It was either
Oh, for
Mozart or
real?
Beethoven. Who
okay.
I think it was Beethoven. He was basically deaf, but he wrote like really good music, and he could still. It's like all a visual thing, I guess. The piano is easy like that because not easy, but
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Wow. I mean that's incredible. But then it's like so your brothers that you grew up, they twin brothers too, right?
Yeah, but fraternal twins, so they don't look anything like
They
each
fraternal
other.
too.
What?
My, they fraternal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they ain't identical. They fraternal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so your brother's fraternal and they're old. They're younger than you,
Yeah, by almost 2 years.
almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So they both have. What is exactly the way? What do they actually? Because they're like I don't know. I'll let you tell. What's the condition and like what exactly is the word for what they go through?
See, the funny thing is, I never like educated myself on it
Oh, you didn't.
because they're just my bros. It's like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like okay, I'm not really much of a label guy either.
Oh, true.
You know?
I get why you say that.
But okay, it's called autism spectrum disorder. I don't like the word disorder in there because it's kind of a disorder, but the way that sounds to people.
How the world put it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they put it.
Exactly. Sean is on the heavier side. Like right away. Yup, this dude's got something going on.
Sean is the one I met that was eating and he stuck his finger in it. That's Sean. me and Kyle was sitting here with Kyle made
definitely him.
Kyle made like something. We was at it in the living room, me and him just eating. He made some type of dip.
And he just goes right
He
on
just
in
came,
there.
walked in there,
He just goes.
stuck his finger dead inside the
Well, you know what? Sometimes
ate
it's
it?
just a sensory
he
thing,
just
like the way
dipped
it feels.
Kyle was like, stop, don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
You still ate it?
Nah, I stopped eating it after that.
Yeah, I bet.
I was
Not because of you. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
he just stuck his finger in. I was like,
okay, we're done, right?
That's
now,
it.
That was one of the things that always kept me in like that fight or flight mode. Like,
Okay.
Because the thing is, he would just do that, right? First of all, I don't know if that's for everybody. No, it's not everybody on the spectrum, but we know that he's always in the moment.
Okay.
He doesn't do past and future.
Oh, okay.
He's just always in the moment. So if he wants something, that's what he wants.
Yeah.
If he's feeling something, that's what he feels.
Oh, okay.
You know, he can't necessarily put it in context like we can, right? So if he wants whatever the hell it was that he dipped his finger in, he may not have even wanted to eat it. Sometimes, like I have,
He just wanted to do it.
yeah,
to see
because to feel it.
Yeah,
and the thing is, I got
feel
the
like,
same
yeah.
thing. Whenever my dad brings a steak home, I always like to poke at it and squish it before it comes out of the package. It's just a weird thing. People have said that
What, through the paper? Through the plastic?
like through the because it's kind of fun to just
sit there and poke the hell out of
I
it.
don't know. It just feels
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
But yeah, so what was I getting at though? So he's always in the moment. So like I said, so when he did that, like he wasn't trying to annoy anybody or be gross or anything like that, or anything like that. That was just
That is something that he going through.
that's just
Like, yeah,
And
it
the thing
just-
is,
yeah.
it was always very very hard. I had a bit of a sixth sense with it because I grew up with him.
Yeah.
But it was always hard to
explain it?
to understand what he's going through and why he's having a breakdown. It would be a daily thing for him to start screaming his head off for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, just scream his head off for no.
Oh, but we never went to restaurants. We tried doing the whole family thing, like go to restaurants, go to church, like do all that regular stuff.
Yeah.
And my mom was just like, okay, what's the point? I'm just totally stressed out all the time. You know, my mother is a total she's like a really strong woman. Like she told me the other day. Now Sean's in a group home, right? So he's not living with us.
Oh,
she doesn't have to take care of him anymore like that.
Oh, he like in a place. That's on my wife. She works at a place.
Oh,
like
really?
that, a group home.
Oh, see that?
She
That's
love
an
it,
interesting
but
environment,
She
right?
work at two of them actually.
Really?
And,
Wow.
Yeah, some be
They're different.
Be wilding. Yeah. Then some is it's cool, but it's always it's something going on.
There is, and the thing is, everyone's a little different with that too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, somebody. Well, first of all, so my mother, she said to me a few months ago, shortly after he was in there, she says, "For the first time in 25 years, I'm actually relaxed."
Oh yeah.
When I heard that, I totally wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
Then I thought about it. Same thing with me, kind of, but little different. With her, like you could see why she'd say that.
Yeah.
But like the fact she said that, and then I processed what that means, and because I understand it to an extent, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And she held it together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she had a breakdown or two every now and then.
Yeah.
But she held it together. Like
he just was a lot to handle, like being in the household.
Oh yeah, well he needs constant attention these days.
What you mean? Why would he need constant attention?
So not as much now because basically all he does is kind of lay around, listen to music, watch some TV. Like he doesn't really do much. He's kind of just like it's kind of like a couch potato now.
Oh, okay.
But like, when he was younger and he had more energy and kind of like there was all kinds of like medication cycles we'd have him on to see how we could kind of level him out. We tried different diets and things, but either way we're trying all these different things and he would just get into stuff. Or like for me, and this kind of affected the rest of my life.
Okay.
Which was that I was always on edge in the house.
Yeah.
Because it's like he could come in any time and like, you know, pull my hair, pinch me, you know, like poke at me or like take his greasy hand that was in a bunch of food and like rub it on me, or he's going to go in the cabinet and need something. So I got to go get it. And like everything would have to stop for me and then, you know, go to him.
Yeah.
And I'd always be on edge.
Oh, okay.
Like when you're a young person, like a kid, and you have to be like that, that's going to kind of fuck you up.
Yeah.
And it kind of did. I mean, you know, I'm past it now, but, you know, that was kind of like what we kind of had to deal with, which was this sort of like always kind of being on edge and having to get ready.
Yeah.
You know?
And the other brother was he was on the spectrum too, but not as
totally different.
Oh, he's more like just
He's home still?
No, he moved out first. I'm the last one, ironically.
Oh, they moved out?
Yeah,
so he's in a group home too?
No, he lives with a roommate that was part of the same I should know the word for it. You know, kind of like organization or kind of like school, sort of like life skills development type kind of place where people like him go in there, but they have to be functional enough. Like my brother Sean, he wouldn't make it in there because he doesn't have the ability to like get a job and like, you know, do that kind of stuff.
So the other one could work.
And so he does all that. Like he's got like a full life and everything. And like just being able to see him like do that, like still to this day, it's like, what? Like that's my bro. Like, you know.
He got a girl, anything?
What? No, he doesn't even want to do that. He's like worse than me. Like I'm just used to being single, and I, you know, but him, he's like, I asked him like more than once, he's like, no, but he always sees his friend Dana.
Oh, okay.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
So you say he's on the spectrum. What does he do that you could like? He got a look. Like I don't think I never met your brother.
He doesn't have a look.
It's just like he act a certain way that you'll be like, okay, maybe it's something.
Yep.
Okay.
And it made me want to slap him in the face every goddamn time.
What would he do?
Because the thing is, he how would I explain it? So first of all, I didn't really see any of that in him like when I was younger. Again, he's just my bro, right?
Yeah.
But once you get past that like toddler age, like where you're a little bit more like, you know,
he's
organized,
growing, and
he was kind of like not. The thing is, he has like a light level autism thing going on, but with attention deficit disorder. Okay. I only got the attention deficit disorder, but I can see, because I have that, I could see his perspective to an extent. Either way, one thing that he does is he gives very long answers. Oh, okay. So you ask him a question, and he takes forever to get to the point. Or he'll get to the point, but make the point with different phrasing like 5 times when we're already at a different point in the conversation altogether. Yeah. And that part can get really annoying because it's kind of like you have to kind of slow down and like wait.
Oh, okay.
You know, which at some point I'm going to see if I could try to like help him curve that a bit.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll admit it because I don't want to deal with it anymore. But, you know, it's like, that'll probably help him too, but he probably doesn't even need that help. It's not even like a big deal. But one of the things that he does is you know, I kind of just did it right now, but not really. And what else? Like, I don't know. Well, he's very slow when it comes to like doing stuff. Like when he writes, he'll handwrite stuff. He'll like take his time with every letter. Go really, really slow. And like you just have to kind of give him extra time to do everything because his mind is kind of like skipping around, not focusing on one thing at a time. And and he's just basically a really awkward dude in social situations sometimes.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. But he was the brother you was able to, like, growing up, you was able to actually, like, y'all was actually to, like, well, both of your brothers, like, communicate, like, hang out,
play together and stuff.
Yeah, was it?
Cody and I more so. Sean, maybe not so much, but still maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
So one thing I think that isn't always talked about as much is the siblings that are neurotypical, like myself.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
As in, just doesn't have anything.
Oh, okay.
Like, granted, I got like the attention deficit disorder and then the bipolar thing, whatever. But that's totally different. Like, we're all kind of like in the same zone here, right?
Yeah.
Not much has been said, as far as I know, or it's only been recently coming out about siblings in my position who have someone in the family like that. Like, there's a lot of discussions and stuff out there about people with autism, right? But what about the other kids that are in the family?
So you saying it affect the other kid? So it affected you?
And one of the major...
In which way?
Well, one way definitely was, I didn't have any other siblings that were like, neurotypical. So my reference point for social interactions and social situations was them. Their social abilities are vastly different.
Yeah.
And so I was feeding off of that without even knowing it.
Yeah.
And so I would just do shit with people in school that would be like totally antisocial, or just like I would basically bug people the same way they would, because I thought that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So that kind of like ruined my life. It's like I didn't even know I was being like this super like annoying person.
Yeah.
And not to say that autistic people are annoying, but chances are you're going to get really annoyed at some point because of the different ways that they are, that are kind of maladaptive to the kind of social systems that we kind of have in most of society, so to speak, if that makes any sense.
I need to say one thing, man. We can't. This is a rule. Could y'all please don't ever eat hummus
He said hummus.
before we do a podcast, because, bro, your breath weighing, your breath.
No, it ain't. You're lying.
Really? Come on now.
I'm just saying.
We had some garlic hummus.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Deacon don't like hummus.
No, but
I guess he doesn't like the garlic.
My
No.
breath smell like what?
It's wanging.
No, it's not.
So it must be just all his.
Ain't nobody-
Did you brush your teeth?
No,
Did you brush your tongue?
Huh?
You brushed your
What
tongue?
you saying?
What, you
I'm
want me to get a
asking you.
Tic Tac for everybody?
No,
I'm just asking. Did you brush your tongue?
I ate a couple sour powers.
No, that ain't.
I ate some
Yo,
sour powers.
It's hitting me from both
No, you're
ways. I'm like,
lying.
I'm
You're
bugging.
lying.
No,
No,
I'm not.
you're lying.
Man,
All
no,
right,
I'm
Jerry.
not.
Jerry, what we got to do is breathe on him right now.
Yeah, we had some
that's-
garlic hummus.
We gotta
He
breathe
tastes
on
a little.
his
He
ass.
tastes a little dabadooya. He ain't like it.
No, but y'all
Nah, he
breath is
tryna-
wanging.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, bro. Y'all breath is wanging.
You don't smell.
You gotta-
You don't smell.
Yo, yes, I do.
No, you
bro.
don't.
It's
No, you
wanging.
don't. No, you don't.
It's coming from him.
No.
Why you think I'm trying to hide my nose in front of the mic?
Nah. It's probably the mic you smelling. Your mic. You probably
Nah.
got it stinking.
No.
What you mean?
No, it's coming. It's hitting me from both ways.
Oh, man. Is your alarm?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
All right,
it's not-
because I'm the cameraman, I
Yeah,
still have
the
to monitor
cameraman,
the
man, he
cameras.
still got to do his
I'm gonna get
job.
up. Come on, cameraman.
Yeah, come on,
I'm gonna
man.
get up and do my job again.
Yeah,
Hold
there
on.
you go.
Man.
Yeah, though. Don't do that no more.
No, it was good. Garlic hummus,
Yeah,
man.
it's good. Your breath, though.
No, it's not. You don't even
That's-
smell
Yes,
mine.
I do.
No, you don't.
So that just caused the
Yes,
wing? Oh,
yes.
all right. Yeah, that's
All right, so who's timing this now? We got a half hour.
Yeah, that's-
Actually a little less.
Yeah,
and that
that's
thing's
a
gonna cut out.
So we got
that's ridiculous.
another. Yeah.
Yeah, my camera's ridiculous.
Oh, it definitely had cut off.
Not yet, but it will
was
again.
about to.
So a bit, yeah, my
You keep
camera's
trying to
not-
smell. It stink. Yes, it stink.
Oh man, come on, man.
Word, yeah, don't do that no more. I'm in the middle.
Oh man, cut it. You
Word,
don't smell
man.
nothing,
Yes, I
man.
do.
No, you
For
don't.
real,
You don't.
for
You
real.
don't smell.
What the hell are we even talking about?
You smell about your breath.
No, I'm talking before that.
Oh, you said your brother. That your social skills was thrown
See,
off.
I thought you were going to say
you-
something really deep. No, your breath stinks.
That's it. You would say your brother since you was like you was in pup, like they had you the way. the way you interact with your brothers, you kind of carried it out to interacting with other people like that because
because they say like
because
the people you're around.
It was just y'all. Really, it ain't like.
And you know, my dad's a little like off, so to speak, and my mother's like
your dad a little off too.
A little off. Like I don't know. Like he's dyslexic, so like that's not like a behavioral thing, but he's a little off. That's more because of his upbringing. He had a harder upbringing than he had a hard upbringing that was a little like
Okay.
Like now I can see like okay, that's why he's like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot like him too. In certain ways, but I always try to maximize the good part. But anyway, so yeah, then my mother's like the neurotic one, right? So neurotic, socially awkward, kind of annoying. Like that was basically me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not all the time. Like I could be cool, but at the same time, and then I was never really relaxed either. I was always insecure. So when you have that too, that just makes all that worse.
Yeah.
Because then you're trying to be like, okay, how do I say this? What do I do? Oh, is that? Should I say something there too? Or why didn't I respond to what he said? And then it keeps going through your head all day.
Yeah, I get it.
So people don't realize that just when you living, as your case, siblings, your brothers, living like that, it got to be kind of like not hard, but different.
Both.
Yeah, because it's like, because then it's like, do you ever felt like you got to give them all the attention? You missing out. Now you missing out from your parents. I'm just going at all the different things I know that you probably went through far as just coming up, like that. Because I'm going to be honest, I used to think about, I wonder what people going to think about. Just knowing my son was,
because he has a little bit of a different thing people may not understand right away.
And I was just so afraid of somebody saying something wrong and how would I react. That's what had me always. That's why I always, like when we get around, we go different places, and I know people, cause people talk to kids, and they'd be like, "How you doing?" and he ain't responding like that. I have to tell him, "Oh, he's deaf. That's why because I don't want nobody to ever say nothing crazy."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because they don't know. Yeah. But then I start feeling like, why should I keep doing that?
Eventually he's probably gonna have to do it himself, right? But it's like at the same time, it's probably like, I don't know.
Because I was saying to myself, by me saying that to people to get them the heads up, is I'm making him handicapped, his father?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? So I was like kind of confused like that.
As long as you don't put it in the context or use the tone of it being like an excuse or kind of like making it be like, yeah, he's less adequate than everybody else.
I don't do that.
See, that's the thing. As long as you don't do that, then you're fine because that's helping him kind of like because people might not see, like he may not respond, right?
Yeah.
Then that person might get offended, think your son's kind of a mean kid or like something like that.
Yeah.
No.
So I try to like.
So you have to. Sometimes you just have to like same thing with us either.
Because I look at me, I know if I spoke to somebody and they ain't speak back. Because sometimes he'll look at you and just be looking at you. You'll be like, hi, I just seen hi. And they said, then I have to tell him, he deaf. Because they be they have a whole conversation with him, but he ain't responding. Like,
then it's awkward, right?
Yeah. So I have to, I have to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you know what
I'm saying? But,
and the thing is, like, we had to kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
But with us, it was a little different because, like, Sean, he sticks up like a sore thumb. Like, there's something going on, but it's like, what is it? And back, like, this was like back in like the 90s, early 2000s, like there was like hardly anything out there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what was hard for me also was like, and I didn't know at the time, it didn't bother me until later. It was like I realized it, but also like I had to deal with it and started dealing with the fact that my family situation was rather unusual compared to other people's.
Yeah.
So not only was I watching people like, do family stuff, like normal family stuff, it was like foreign to me.
Yeah,
it was like, what? And then I figured out, like, that all looks fun. And then it's like, wait, I don't get this at my house. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. But at the same time, it's like you could still find ways to appreciate, who your family is. But at the same time, again, when you're an adolescent, for instance, and you have that, like that's like, your hormones are going all weird and everything. And then you're starting to get smart to it and like realize it. Like college, for instance, like that's when I lived in high school. I boarded in high school. And my parents said to themselves, like, we got to get this dude out of the house. Like, we got to get him to like, interact with like other kids that are like, that don't have that type of challenge. Right. But yeah.
So you brought you to high school that you actually stayed at the high school.
Yeah, like a boarding school. Like, and then, college, college is, like that's when your kind of mind is like really kind of expanding in like a whole nother way. Yeah. That's when I started really dealing with it. But I didn't even know like what I was even dealing with. I just knew there was something off about me because of this family situation I had. And I didn't even know what to do about it. Yeah. And then I thought to myself, shit, I should have had a therapist like forever. Yeah. Here's the funny thing. So you were talking about, like me getting less attention or something like that. So, yes, like I didn't get as much because my parents had to deal with them. Not deal with them, I shouldn't say that, but that was just what had to happen. Yeah. And the thing is, again, you grow up with it, you don't notice it. But then after a while, it kind of becomes clear. Once it became clear, it was all clear to me when I graduated college and came back home and realized I don't have a job, I don't have a plan. Like I'm in this house, and like I'm in the house now. Yeah, all I got right now is a car, and I'll maybe sleep in that thing. Did I really consider that? Maybe a few times, but it became clear to me like what my family dynamic really is and what it really was. Yeah. And how it affected me. Once I realized that, I hated my family. Like I just hated my family. I just hated them. I was frustrated. Like my parents actually said they were scared of me. Oh yeah. Because of how like nasty I was. Like I was just fucking angry. Why? Bro. Well, because, it's like, because then you realize what you missed out on. You got cheated. Before I got cheated?
I feel like you got cheated.
You feel like you got cheated?
Well, first of all, I know I wasn't. So no. But years ago, yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it became clear to me, like, wow, because I'll hang out with like other, like whenever I hung out with like another family, it was like going to the amusement park. And we were all just doing regular family stuff. For me, it was like going to an amusement park because you didn't have any limitations or like conditions. Yeah. Like loud noises, for instance. Sean can't deal with that. Okay. Like cannot deal with that. Yeah. And then, Cody, really nothing really you have to deal with him. But either way, it's like, you realize kind of like what you didn't have and what you had that maybe was bad for you. Then you're like, all right, now I'm pissed. This is some bullshit. Like I got screwed over.
So do you go see him?
Yeah, I mean, not all the time, but it's like, yeah, I see him like maybe every month or so.
Your parents do?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. Oh yeah. No, and let me think.
The reason why I asked that because, like I said, my wife worked in like place like
the group home, yeah.
And a lot of times she said it seemed like their parents ain't.
No, of course not. They got rid of him finally.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, I do.
It'd be like, so it's unfair.
Woo, they probably be like that, like so been dealing with like, so much. Like.
We all were.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, so he and I were still living in the house, and my parents were still living in the house, and then he moved to the group home, it's very hard to get that to happen.
Oh, it's expensive too? Like you have to pay for it?
Well, I mean, if you can get assistance from the government, like Social Security or whatever, I don't know all the details. Eventually, I'll have to like kind of learn it because I'm going to be the, responsible one to like, be like the CEO of the family eventually. Once he was in there, like all of us, like, well, it was actually really sweet. My father... he loves his kids so much that it's almost like annoying and like kind of weird. I shouldn't really say that, I guess, but he loves us very, very much to the point where like, and I could see this, like parents will go through this, right? He was always the one to hold down the fort. So my mom was always out doing everything, right? Like taking care of everything that has to be taken care of. My dad would always be in the house to like, make sure, Sean's all right. And like taken care of, right? And there's a lot of shit that my parents had to do that like I didn't even like to see because it was like it's hard. Yeah. And so he's used to having Sean around all the time in the house and just being there with him, right? So I remember it was like a day or two after he first moved into his new home. And then my dad, I just saw him on the couch just crying.
Yeah.
Just crying.
Like hysterically, just crying.
Not hysterically, but just like, he was having one of those moments. And I'm like, yo, you all right? And of course, this is at a point now where I'd actually care.
Yeah.
I was not angry anymore.
Yeah.
And I saw this, and the thing is, it really crystallized it for me when he said this. I kind of needed to hear this. Because for a while, I didn't think my parents really cared about me.
Yeah.
And so he said, yeah, I miss Sean. He was just like, I miss him. Oh my God. And I was just like, wow. Because after seeing him go through the stuff he had to go through to care for him, I'm like, how would you?
That's his child.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, for me, I'm watching, I'm like, wow.
At the end of the day.
Yep. At the end of the day.
The outsider, you can look at like, I get it, why.
I see both sides.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that and I was like, wow.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's real. Right there.
My mom wasn't like that at all. She's like, yo, I'm gonna do some more art. I'm gonna do this and that. No, but she the thing is, it's also because she goes out and like sees them more and like she's regularly she's still, managing.
Yeah.
But is anything like Sean being the one that's the one that needed most attention? You see anything like he does extra special? Like how you got them special.
Oh no, he's not like that. Well, I shouldn't say that.
That you'd be like, whoa.
So he's in touch with like the other realm, so to speak. I call it the ether. Kind of like what is it? Like he's spiritual by nature. Like he's kind of designed to be spiritual. He's kind of. But remember how I said he lives in the moment only. Mm-hmm. So he has that, but he can also apparently access like other realms to an extent. Mm-hmm. Like now that he can communicate with us in a way that like is easy to understand, he does what's called facilitated typing. So he'll type out words and stuff.
Oh, so he can't actually talk?
No, he's nonverbal.
Oh, so he doesn't talk at all.
Like he can make sounds and stuff, and like sometimes you'd like say like it was kind of funny, like so like sign language, for instance. Mm-hmm. If you don't know sign language, it just looks like a bunch of random movements, right? Yeah. But kind of controlled, right? Mm-hmm. So my brother, we used to say like guck guck was like chicken. Or how like toddlers
like he want to be like guck guck.
Like you would just kind of know his language.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course, I was living at school,
so
I
guck mean
or
chicken.
something like that. I don't know what the hell they were. He doesn't like.
Oh man!
No, it's a legit question. That's a legit question. That's a very legit question. The thing is, you have to kind of learn how to communicate with that individual. It just happens
whatever
to be,
way that is true.
Yeah. But his special ability is really kind of just being more in touch with like the sixth sense type stuff.
Got you.
Yeah.
Other than that, forget it. Although the fact that he learned like the English language without doing anything except watching Sesame Street every morning.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody ever. His thing was physical therapy, like simple, basic human, like how to grab a block for God's sake, like a toy.
Yeah.
Right. So, or like being able to eat by himself. He didn't learn how to go to the bathroom on his own until 12. Mm-hmm. Right. So, but what was I even talking about? I totally lost track.
We were talking about this special, like something special that he could.
Oh yeah. So, the fact that he could write and like put words on and stuff like that together and like do that and be literate without anyone even ever thinking like, oh, we got to teach him grammar and we got to teach him spelling and words. That's kind of genius. Here's the thing though, just like how your son picks up on stuff and you wouldn't know it. I got a story for you. Now this is important because folks out there have to realize that if someone's acting a little weird or they have a, disorder, autism, something like that. They're in a wheelchair and they're like flapping around and drooling on themselves. First of all, that doesn't mean they're stupid.
No.
Secondly, they can still pick up on everything. You just don't know because they're not able to express themselves the way we are because their circuitry in their brain and their body is all mixed up, kind of. Mm-hmm. So the way that they take in information ends up getting kind of like dyslexia, right?
Yeah.
You read something, it doesn't look the way it looks to everybody else. Mm-hmm. There's a different traveling path and different way of processing, right? Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to expressing yourself outwardly, you can't really, you don't have the same control of your body, right? Or your mouth or whatever. So, but they can still pick up on everything. So, when that first became really clear, it was when one of our neighbors, he was kind of like pompous, so to speak, like
what?
pompous, like like affluent jerk, kind of like, you know, like not down to earth, not grounded, kind of just like, you know, like, you know, look at me, I'm so, you know, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to describe it. But he came into the house and he was talking with my dad. We were in the kitchen. My brother happened to be in the same vicinity, like within earshot. And I don't no, I wasn't there, but my dad told me about it. This dude, our neighbor, he started expressing his opinion on folks like my brother.
Yeah. Okay.
And he just said, yeah, well, you know, I think people like him belong in mental institutions, you know, and whatever. And here's what happened. My brother, he comes to my dad in tears, right?
Sean.
Yeah. And the sign for broken is this. So he came to my dad in tears and said that he said broke.
Yeah.
He was saying like, oh my God, I'm broken, aren't I?
Yeah.
So now, I think about that.
Yeah.
That is a huge like shot at your self-esteem, right? All of a sudden, you know, and so that kind of ended the relationship between that neighbor and our family. Wow. But like, think about that. Yeah. Think about hearing that and not being able to defend yourself.
Yeah.
He has to just hear that and be like, okay.
Trapped in a body, like our last episode.
He's trapped in his body.
Like, you know, like Jackson was saying how he was.
Body
like
dysphoria or something.
So that's probably how, you know, your brother probably felt like, I'm talking about as far as being trapped inside. You know, he understands what's happening, just not being able to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Engage with it kind of, or like be understood.
When you, anything that's, we call different from us, you know, because when I watch my son sometimes, and I watch, and it feel like he be upset that he like that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But what he do is to make up for it. What he do a lot of making up. Meaning, for him to be what we call regular, he like, if we gonna play football, he gonna out football you. If whatever, if you gonna, if they gonna chop up the vegetables, because I let them chop up the vegetables, come out, Kai like to cook, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I let him do his little thing. He gonna outcut the vegetables.
Okay. Yeah.
If it's time to clean, and I want, man, he gonna clean the best. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, got you.
So I like, so it amazed me a lot of times, because a lot of times you think he probably can't do it for whatever reason. I don't know why people even.
And he probably knows / thinks that people think that, right?
Yeah,
that's like, a horrible feeling.
Yeah,
he's gonna compensate.
I hope he don't. Yeah, I hope. Like,
he's gonna come.
I hope I never did nothing to him
to make him
feel like Daddy knows something different about me, or because I try to treat him as regular. I do treat him regular. I don't even do all that. Yeah. Like I mean, I
but
talk
you tell
to him.
us. I mean, I'm like, yeah, you're doing it all right. Like you're fine.
Like you, I don't try not to do that, but I see it sometimes to bother them. One day I seen a man's brother was talking. He was looking at us like, I'm talking about back and forth. I'm talking, he looking. But then I'm looking at the corner of my eye. I also could see like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like. You
so are they saying that that's going to be his condition, or is it something that the doctor's saying
that's what I'm just saying. He's as time go on, he said he could hear more and more.
Oh, okay.
You feel what I'm saying? As far as his speaking, I don't know if would that ever get clear. I don't know.
It gets better, but for the most part, like that one, you kind of
So
that's
he
just
got
one of
the
those
implants.
He got those.
Yeah, he
oh,
got
good for him.
What the implants supposed to?
So it's like so he could help him hear the most. You know what I mean, something up his implant side on both sides of his head
to help him hear. Like okay,
like you know.
Yeah.
It's great they got technology like that.
Yeah, because it's like I think it's like a magnet because it's a piece that clipped to his ear. But then there's a piece like it's almost like it's connect to his brain.
I've seen it before. It's kind of like weird looking, but cool looking. It's like, cool.
So I don't know if he don't like it though.
Well, of course he doesn't like it.
Nah, he don't like it. But it ain't no big stupid. It ain't that one.
No, it's subtle, but it's still.
It ain't that one, but he I know. Yeah, he don't.
Because it makes him stand out.
Yeah, so
it reminds him and everybody that it's like
Think he'll wear that school But I noticed when he come home, he don't got that. Like he want to be, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Oh, it's something that he said you wear it at school, so it's like
Because they like him to wear it at school.
I think you have to. I think you have to adapt your brain to it. You have to adapt your brain to it,
But it's like it's something connect to his brain.
Oh,
gotcha. Implants. It's something that connect.
Oh.
Like, so it's like
when he home, he don't like wearing.
No, he don't like to wear it because I think he goes through that feeling of I'm different.
Yeah, I know you don't want to feel.
But like I said, you wouldn't even know, man, unless I told you.
Yeah.
Or if you heard him speak, you'll be like, oh, he speak a little. But his act, if you just watch him, you wouldn't even think that.
At all, huh?
At all, because he moved just like he be chilling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I got a question.
All
right, so does he have now or will he have, in your mind, like a counselor or like a therapist or like someone to help him deal with those feelings of
I think he have that, he American School of Deaf, so I think they got everything.
Okay, well, but I'm saying you got to make sure.
No, I know he do. He got a.
So he's got like a. Okay,
I was everything there. That's
right. Okay,
yeah,
I just because I definitely needed one.
You need that.
I didn't.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I ended up.
But that is a good question. Like, good. You know what? I just thought about it. What I would like to do, I would like to go to counseling with him. And I'm gonna ask you. I think I'm gonna do that.
Ask him if he's comfortable with that, because that might, that would probably mean a lot to him.
Yeah.
And
I want to see just to see how he really feel about certain situations for like that. You get what I'm saying? Like
that makes sense.
But if he doesn't want you there, you're not gonna like.
Nah, I wouldn't I wouldn't just go and
You should probably say to him at some point, even if he does it. You know what? I'm not gonna give you advice on how to be a father because I'm not a father.
Yeah. No. But I get what you say. I would never make him feel uncomfortable. Like,
or at least not intentionally. And you probably don't. I mean, because like you're a good father to him.
Yeah.
And, like so yada yada. So
yeah.
You're probably fine.
I like that. That is a good idea. I definitely gonna try that.
Yeah.
Counseling with him and just see.
Because he's already got like he's already got the foundation built right now for insecurity and a bunch of like, stuff that's going to come up, kind of like what came up with me.
Yeah.
When I was like, oh, this is what I had. This is what I didn't have. This is what people thought of me because I did those things that I thought were right but weren't right. With him, it's more, I can't talk right. This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
How do I deal with that and come to terms with that, accept it, and be comfortable with myself, right? Or else you're not really at peace. And counseling helps with that.
Yeah.
It takes time but, well, what more can I say?
Yeah. I know. Like you said, I never thought about, I know like what you were saying, like growing up with your brothers, it kind of was, when you said how you dealt with other people, because that's the example that you grew, how
you're the average of the people that you're with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I knew that had to be like a real challenge to really be able to go out and just, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what's interesting, I noticed that there was kind of a trend. I always ended up hanging out with people.
You just raised your hand?
What?
You just raised your hand?
Like this.
What did you raise your hand?
They did a little Uncle Sam point.
Oh, Uncle Sam. Oh, that with the hat.
We need you. No, but the thing is, like, I noticed there was a trend, which was that I tended to hang out or gravitate towards the folks that also had a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Or like maybe people that were like in my classroom, but had like a little bit of a behavioral thing. Something was going on, right? I was because. That's what I was used to.
So that was normal to you.
For me.
What you thought was normal.
Pretty much. And then I started realizing, and I'm like, wait a minute, but I still kind of have that tendency. Like, in other words, that's just part of me.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, when you have a nonverbal sibling that's like, can be a total, like, strain.
Yeah.
Right? And like there's no regular communication method.
Yeah.
What I know that I'm good at, almost to a detriment, is seeing more than one side to everything instantly.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to decide which side am I even on.
Yeah.
In a conversation, a debate, like, some situation out there in the world. But there's that. And another good thing that came out of it for me was that I can pretty much embrace and accept anybody.
Yeah.
Except for people either with bad intentions.
Yeah.
Or Well, I guess it's basically just that.
Yeah, just saying right.
Just that, you know, or people that like, you know, are divisive, manipulative, like that kind of shit.
And you will be surprised how many, how this goes on in families where they got, you know, family members that's in situations born certain ways. And you wouldn't even believe, like, so I totally think this is a good podcast right here, a good one, because people go through this stuff, and even the people that's so-called regular be going through stuff related to that.
Yep, and they may not even know.
You know what I'm saying? Because people look at a person like my son deaf, or like your brothers, and something wrong. They might, they can't talk, or this,
yeah.
You be, but then you could look at that person and be like, what's wrong with them? And they could do everything we could do. So it ain't really.
And you know what? It makes you appreciate the fact that you can just do regular stuff too.
And how about the people that got just a little sprinkle or something?
That's what I'm saying.
See, like you don't even like
think about, man. We didn't.
Because I know when I be having like kind of little brain skips, and I be like, what the hell?
Nah,
man, it's something, right? I be saying, my mother.
Regular, bro.
I'm saying, you think, but I be bugging.
And you be catching yourself.
Like,
right?
I be bugging. You know, I really be like, damn, I gotta like stop. I be bugging. I ain't gonna bug in front of people. But if you actually had a camera on 24 hours a day,
oh, me too. Are you kidding me? I'm a fucking crazy.
But I don't think it's bugging though.
I mean, I'm just saying,
to other people, it
like
may
my
be
thoughts and just the way I like.
Because like I remember, like I'm sorry. My mother, she just start talking to herself about he think she have a whole conversation. This is what she be thinking about, but she have a whole conversation while you just sitting there. I'm like, boy,
like in front of people?
Yeah, you like you know what I mean, I don't know, maybe because I'm a son and she don't mind. You know what I mean,
that's what my brother Cody would do.
But like she will be thinking about something, but she'll just be talking. She'll be cussing you out. Right there in front of you, but you know that's she thinking in her mind. Like she wouldn't be talking to you, but in her mind, but she'd be thinking out loud.
I got you.
Oh, and the reason why I said that is I've caught myself do that.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like if something going on, I talk it out. But I was listening to these.
Talk it out. Something going on? What you mean?
Yeah, like if I'm going through something. Yeah, if I'm going through something.
You talk it out. What you?
Yeah, I talk it out with myself.
What you mean?
What
you mean? You talking about yourself? Like you just be sitting there like, all right.
Like if I'm in a situation where I don't want to get angry, man. You know what? I'm not about to let nobody get me angry.
Got you.
I'm
try to be rational. In other words, to try to consider, what should I really think about or feel like?
Yeah,
what's really going on
sometimes,
here?
I do that too.
But it's a good thing because I was listening to the motivational speakers, and it was like I listened to like 3 or 4 of them say the same thing. Man, you got to talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And I said that's what I be doing already. So I'm like, oh, okay, I ain't tweaking. Yeah. You feel me? Because sometimes you got to talk to yourself you can hear, so you can fix these things.
See, that's what I do to learn, like to figure out, like if I'm trying to learn something. Yeah. That's part of what I do because I have to, especially because in my career, you have to basically teach people. I'm a property inspector, so I got to teach people about home systems, right?
Yeah.
There's understanding it and knowing it, but then there's understanding how to communicate it, right? Yeah. And so I'd have to just sort of practice talking.
Yeah.
And one thing that I realized is that like I wasn't very good at that for a long time. Okay, nonverbal sibling, a sibling that kind of just like, he doesn't communicate with words exactly the same way we do, right? And I'm used to kind of just hanging out in my room by myself, not talking to any, it's like it's just your diction and your ability to even speak clearly. Like, I had to catch up a bit. Sometimes you have to catch up a bit with certain things because you didn't, get exposed to certain things or practice things quite right. But you can still get there. It's just, you have to work.
That's one thing I know about, that's why this podcast right here was very informative. That's why I was just sitting listening, man, because y'all two both dealing with, being in the household. And I never really, dealt with it a little bit, but
it's comforting too.
That extent where you know what I'm saying. So
it's comforting too to meet somebody that gets it.
Yeah.
Like in other words, they understand where there's like a bit of a like how to deal with that thing that's going on.
Yeah.
You know, like when you said your son's deaf, like obviously that's totally different than autism. I'm like, oh wait, this dude's even cooler than I know because he had to be cool in a way that other people doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You know,
man. So, I mean,
that's the go through podcast, though, man.
You gotta talk about this.
It's the knowledge and the wisdom,
absolutely.
And we just want to hit every pointer that we could, man. That's why we do this podcast, because we really want to just, because people we going through so much things in life that don't be talked about,
and we don't even know. Like, I
don't even have a knowledge.
I didn't even know like half the shit that was going on in my brain because of my family situation. Because there was nothing out there. There was nothing. There was no like.
He started growling.
Yeah, why you start?
You heard him?
Yeah, you all right?
Nothing else.
It scared me.
You just went crazy.
Exodus or something?
I'm a little bit crazy. I hope you're all right with that.
Like he's about to start throwing up.
Man,
I'm gonna throw up.
Crazy.
Gonna get my hummus breath.
Oh,
Yeah. So on that note, man, we gotta let Deacon Jones
Yeah, do his
take his
thing.
own, you know.
Oh, okay.
The camera's probably not working anymore. That one right there.
And I think I heard it click.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So one camera probably went out. That's
Yeah, I
okay,
heard it.
everybody.
We-
all right.
Yeah, y'all still get it though.
all right. Well, thank you for letting me be on the show, guys.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man. Absolutely, man. You know.
Yeah, man.
You man that man, that makes it work, man.
Yeah, you make it work, man.
You know what I mean? Not right now.
All right. Father God, we just thank you right now, Lord, for allowing us to be on this platform, Lord, so we can educate people, Father God. So, Father God, I just thank you right now for who you are. Thank you for your mercy and your grace, Lord. Lord, I ask you to continue to give us the wisdom, Lord, and the understanding, Lord, of who you are, oh God, in that holy name of Jesus. Oh, Father God, we just thank you, Lord. Lord, we just ask you, the Lord, would you continue to put your head of protection around us, continue to guide us, Lord, continue to renew our minds, Lord, and give us spiritual understanding, Lord. And Lord, we ask you to mold us and shape us into the men that you want us to be and not who we want to be. Thank you for this Go Through podcast, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
That's a wrap, right, guys?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.